Recently I tried the best Pina Colada in the world, and today I'll show you how to make it. And what's the secret ingredient? There's a little story first of where and why I was able to try this Pina Colada, then we'll go into how they make it, the combination of rums, and why the flavors work so well. Before that, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon to get notified every time I say it's cocktail time. So to try this amazing Pina Colada, I had to travel to Miami, Florida, but that wasn't the reason I traveled there. I was invited to the stunning Sexy Fish Miami to host a masterclass and a guest shift, focused on using local and sustainable ingredients in mixology. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who showed up, and of course to Gabriel Morales, bar manager at Sexy Fish Miami, for the invitation. If you're a long-time friend of cocktails, you'll remember Gabe from the Liquid Memoir YouTube channel, where he actually helped us with a collab video I did with Anders Eriksson a while back. He now runs an amazing bar program at Sexy Fish in Miami, but he's also an amazing host, and together we went to Cafe La Trova, in the heart of Little Havana. The bar brings to life the retro Cuba atmosphere with their artisanal handcrafted cocktails, and it has many awards to show for their masterful work. I tried a few of their house cocktails, but the one that really stood out was their blended Pina Colada. I asked them if I could share the recipe with my friends of cocktails, and as you will see, they were happy to share their magic formula. These are the ingredients I'll use to get as close as possible to their recipe. We'll make the Pina mix and the Rum Blend, then combine them in the blender. And yes, you can tweak these to your liking or needs. But don't forget about two important and slightly unexpected ingredients. One is Negroni-infused shredded coconut flakes. This is actually a byproduct from a Negroni variation on La Trova's menu, where shredded coconut is cooked sous vide with Negroni ingredients, before it's strained, dried, and used in the special Pina Colada. The bitterness helps to cut the sweetness needed for a blended tropical cocktail, but what really sets it apart is this, which I'll add in last, so I'll tell you about it later. When we reach the bottom of the glass, I'll also talk about why these flavors work so well. But let's first prep the La Trova Pina Colada. Whenever you see me preparing ingredients, you see the Cocktail Time apron, and today's episode is a great time to once again thank its creator, the talented Velta Budapan, who also happens to be Gabriel's wife. When I was in Miami, she hooked me up with the updated Cocktail Time patch for the black side of the apron. Clean, functional, and durable. Thanks, Velta. Let's get on to making the Pina batch. We'll need pineapple juice, preferably fresh, cream of coconut, and the Negroni-infused shredded coconut flakes. If you can get Coco Lopez, that's great, but I'll have to make a simple DIY version with coconut cream, sugar, and a little salt. This will of course be a smaller batch than what they make at La Trova, so scale this according to your needs. I'm starting with fresh pineapple juice. I'll need 10 ounces or 300 ml, so add that to the blender. You can use the leftover pulp to make delicious fruit leather. If you have Coco Lopez, add 12 ounce or 360 ml. As mentioned, I'll replace that with a combination of a full-fat coconut cream, sugar and salt. Mix the cream first, then measure out 8 ounces or 240 ml. For sweetness we need 225 grams of sugar. And lastly, salt, 0.3 grams. We are actually not adding saline solution later. You could combine and dissolve those by heating them in a pot, but we'll blend it all together, so there's no need. Before we do though, add in the Negroni-infused coconut. We need 18 grams. If you don't have enough, just use the classic shredded coconut, then blend on medium speed until you get a homogeneous blended mixture. Pour this into a bottle, add a label, and place it in the fridge, so it's ready for the Pina Colada. Now let's prep our rum blend. I'll be using a combination of 5 rums, trying to get as close as possible to what they use at Cafe La Trova. First, 5 ounces, or 150 ml of Diplomatico Planas, aged for up to 6 years, before having its color removed by charcoal filtration. Next, 5 ounces, or 150 ml of Appleton Estate 8-year-old reserve Jamaican rum. For an overproof rum, I'm using Plantation, or Plantarai, OFTD, overproof rum. This stands for old-fashioned traditional dark, but people like to say it could also be that's delicious. We'll need 2 ounces or 60 ml, same as the spiced rum I'm adding next. I had Sailor Jerry on the shelf, so let's use that. And lastly, again 2 ounces or 60 ml of rum agricole. I'm using a Clement, a Martinique VSOP rum. Bottle this rum blend, label it, so you'll know what you want to use it for. And we are ready to whip up some world-class Pina Coladas. I'll make 3, since there are 3 of us here. And it's always better to make a bigger batch when you're making a blended cocktail. If you'd like to see a single serve recipe, make sure to wait until the very end of the episode, when we always drop the recipe card for all the cocktails. So again, grab a blender, and let's first add our Pina Colada rum blend. For 3 cocktails I'll add 6 ounces, or 180 ml. Next, the Pina batch, 12 ounces, or 360 ml. You can of course use this and mix it with the zero rum we made recently to create the world's best non-alcoholic Pina Colada. Now for the big reveal. The secret ingredient is coffee beans. As written on punchdrink.com, dropping just a couple of them into a blender provides a subtle bitter backbone that cuts through the sweetness while providing a complex flavor. I'll throw in 6 coffee beans, making sure the flavor doesn't overpower the drink, but it will be enough to give it that bittersweet coffee bite. For the proper dilution and to chill the drink, go in with 540 grams of ice, preferably crushed or pebble, because it will be easier to blend. Then blend on low speed until you see everything is well blended. In the meantime, grab your hurricane glasses from the freezer. Top them up with our Pina Colada and garnish with a chunk of pineapple and a maraschino cherry, skewered with a pick. How tropical is that? I wasn't able to share this with Robbie and Sasha at Little Havana, but I'm glad I can bring a piece of Little Havana to them here at the Cocktail Time studio. Cheers, guys! A creamy, nutty and tropical Pina Colada. The pineapple and the bitter coconut from the Negroni infusion blend wonderfully with the coffee. The rum blend not only provides the backbone, but also harmonizes the flavors together. One thing that could really make it the best Pina Colada in the world would be if I was drinking it back at Cafe La Trova. We reached the bottom of the glass, so let's find out why coffee works so well in this. According to the Flavor Matrix book, which you've seen me use before, coffee pairs well with tropical fruits like pineapple, coconut and banana. I link the book below. Additionally, according to the Flavor Database, or FlavorDB, coffee and coconut share 53 flavor molecules, while coffee and pineapple share 67. Not surprisingly, pineapple and coconut share even more, 112 flavor molecules. If you made it all the way here, post a tropical drink emoji in the comments and let me know what's your favorite summer drink. Here's another Pina Colada variation I made with homemade horchata and scotch. I'll see you next week. Cheers!